Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here playing Payday 3, and in this video we're going to be playing the Gold and Shark Heist on the hard difficulty, remaining in stealth and securing all of the valuables without accessing the HR computer. Doing this will unlock both of the heist-specific achievements and trophies, including closing the account and the hard way. You can do this solo, but doing it with a co-op partner or a full group will make it significantly easier, and make sure you bring in your stealth build. So I would recommend doing this in 2 runs. Your first run is going to be to learn the map layout, learn who the HR manager is, learn the code, and if you can, learn the colors of the switch boxes. The important thing to note is that when you pause the game and restart the heist, you'll respawn in the exact same heist. As long as you don't go back to the main menu, everything will be where you left it. So let me explain all the steps you want to complete in your information run so that you can make the final run way easier. During your first information run, what you want to do is start by locating at least one cell phone with a QR code. You can use this QR code to gain entry into the hallway on the left from where you enter through the front door. This hallway can lead to a couple of different areas, but the one we're interested in is the HR room. We can go to the HR room and go to the computer, hack it to figure out who has the red keycard access. Because we're restarting the level, and when we restart it, we're skipping this step, this won't count as accessing the HR computer when we go for the achievement. It can be Eric Yeager, who is the assistant. His office is located on the main floor in the far left. It could be the loan officer, Liam. His office is located near the entrance on the right. Or it could be the branch manager, who is located upstairs on the far right. So you can now go into that office and steal that red key card. The reason this was all useful during the information stage is because when we restart the mission, we can skip all of these steps and go straight for the red key card. Now that I know it's in Liam's office, I'm just going to go straight there, skipping all these steps. Now for this to work properly, you want to stay in stealth as long as possible, which means you probably want to keep your mask off as long as possible. If you are playing with multiple people, one of them can designate themselves as the mask on person. They can take out cameras and just hang out near the lesser populated areas. With the red keycard, you can now access the staircase right up the middle, so open that up and head upstairs, but this area is private. Guards won't like it if they catch you here. Your goal here is to now find the blue key card. It is usually located on somebody, either the bank manager or on the back pocket of a guard. It is randomized, so yours may be different than mine. For me, it's going to be on the bank manager every time. If you are playing in co-op and know who's going to put their mask on first, they should be the ones with the blue key card, ideally. You can then take this blue key card and go to the bank manager's office. To unlock it, we'll need this room for later, but we are looking for the server room, which is properly labeled. The server room is always located next to the bank manager's office, but it's not always in the same location. It can spawn on the left or the right. Once you are inside of the server room, hack the computer to start the progress bar, but the progress bar will be cut short early, usually around 70%. By the way, we're doing all of this to find out the vault code. And once we restart the run, we can skip all of these steps because we will know what the vault code is ahead of time. In order to restart the hack, we'll need to get to the IT room, activate the computer there, which will then proceed the rest of the hack, allowing us to know the vault code. So make your way over to the IT room, interact with the computer there, work your way back to the manager's office, and get the code. If you have multiple people in your party, you can obviously split up these tasks to make it way easier than trying to do it solo, especially if you have your mask on like me. Again, this is very involved and kind of complicated. You have to do it in stealth, but once you do these steps, the next run is so easy. We now have hacked the computer and we have 4 possible codes. You see them listed in the top left corner. And we need to figure out which one is useful for our game. So you have to go back to the vault and use your UV light to see which buttons are pressed. Based on which buttons are pressed, you can deduce which code you need. So for me, based on my 3, 4, and 8 being pressed, I know the code will be 3448, and this will be the same code when I restart. This is really important information. Now, once you make it into the vault main area here, you will probably be required for one person to go mask on. There are a lot of really annoying cameras in here. You can technically take out the guard that is upstairs here, as well as the guard in the side room, which is the camera room. This is fine, but you will use your radio calls, so it is up to you. Our next step is to disable the lasers by activating the cable controller nearby. There are 4 switch boxes and you need to do the colors in order. The colors will remain the same on your next run. This part is optional, but if you memorize it, for me, it's going to be like blue, white, red, and then green. If you memorize it, you can do this a lot easier on your second run once you restart, but you don't need to because everyone will have their mask off if possible. In terms of the switchbox locations, you'll find one of them inside of the vault room, and then from the front door, you'll find one in the far left, one close left, and then one close right. That's going to be flipped around if you're in the vault facing the other direction, obviously. But you're going around the map to memorize and flip the switches. So once you know all of this information, let's think of how the run's going to go if we were to restart. We could go straight into the building, straight for the red key card, opening up the vault lobby, inputting the vault code into the vault door immediately, and then grabbing the blue key card off of the guard. And then flip the 4 switches you need in the correct order of their color. Even in solo, this is pretty easy to do in stealth, but if you have a group of 4, it's even easier if one of those people have a mask and shoot out cameras for you. After flipping the 4 switches, you'll have to go to the bank manager's office and activate his main computer. This will start a timer where you have to activate the blue key card at the vault, and this will open up the vault. Earlier when I said that the person with the mask on can have the blue key card, it's because they'd be stuck in the vault, and you can basically separate the task into 2 parts for 2 people. If you are playing solo, you'll have to go from this office and sprint into the vault, but because we're doing an easy run, you should be able to do it without any issues with your mask off. So now, using this strategy, you should still be in stealth and you should be inside of the bank vault looting all of the bags. There are quite a few of them, including the server, and if you want, you can grab the spare cash lying around as well. In total, there will be 13 bags, and what you do with them largely depends on how many people you have and whether any of them don't have a mask on. But you are trying to transport these bags into the van, which is still waiting in the basement because we're still in stealth. If you don't have a mask on or someone in your group doesn't have a mask on, it's literally as simple as grabbing these bags, running through the building into the basement, and depositing them directly into the escape van. There may be a guard downstairs which doesn't like you, so just be careful, but there's really not much risk because if you're caught, you'll just be escorted out. However, if you have a mask on, you can also do this, but you'll just have to be a lot more sneaky about it. Go through the building, through the staircases, and then into the basement. However, there is a trick here, which you can do if you're solo or if you're in a group. And that trick is to go to the rooftop, and you can throw the bags off of the edge of the roof. They'll land directly in front of the parking garage. This is really useful because someone can sneak their way downstairs and then just throw all of those bags directly into the truck without having to worry about moving in and out of the building every single time. You minimize the amount of times you need to sneak through the building while your mask is on doing this strategy, so it is very advantageous, and the location we're throwing these bags is useful because none of these civilians will see them and get suspicious, none of the guards will notice, so you can remain in stealth by throwing them here. Once all of your bags are prepped, either by having someone without a mask run laps through the building, or by tossing them off the edge of the building and kind of relay racing them, or whatever strategy you have, the people from inside of the vault with the masks on are going to need to make their way into the basement. You can do this just by pretty much sneaking carefully, watching out for guards, and taking out the cameraman if you want to. And at that point, it's all about just getting into the garage, watching out for guards, watching out for cameras, putting down civilians who need to be taken hostage, and then just filling up that van with all of the bags, including all of the cash, and the server as well. You can also grab the loose cash, but that is actually not required for these 2 achievements to unlock. And that is how you can quickly and easily grab these 2 achievements. By doing a full information run, we streamlined the method to get into the vault and made it very low risk. At that point, it was just about getting the loot into the basement without getting spotted, and if you're in co-op, almost everyone on your team can not have a mask on, making it even easier. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thanks to Cluck for pointing out a lot of these strategies to me. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show, and hopefully I see you soon. Peace.